This one is not how much? Thank you very much. My God.
I haven't seen my best friend in a long time. She decided to visit Lagos and escorted me to go to the market. Watch us as we go to the market and see what we buy. First stop was to go get meat. He had already packed our meat in that nylon that you see there, but it wasn't enough. So I asked him to add an extra 500 naira meat. See meat. Chai.
So 500 naira meat. Go better. Good, Omijele. Go better. I don't want to be adult again. I'm telling you. How much? Now you want one by one? No, I didn't ask. Okay. How much is it? Sir, ma? How much? 300. For the two of them? 300. Chiso, say hi. This one is not how much? Thank you very much. My God.
So this is basically showing you how everything is expensive in the market now. I bought ingredients for 3 different types of food and I spent about 15 to 20,000 naira, if I'm being very honest. As in, my chest is paining me. My heart is doing me bing bing. As in, I've not recovered. Oh Lord. Anyways, moving on, these are the ingredients that you will need to make your beans porridge and plantain with vegetables. First, you will need your fresh pepper, you will need your crayfish, you will need your beans, the brown beans. I like using the brown beans. You will need onions, ginger, garlic, you need your seasoning, you need smoked fish, you need ugwu and palm oil. Alright, firstly, you want to wash your hands, to remove any dirt and germs that you would have carried from wherever. People like me that have long nails, you would want to wash inside your nails, in between your nails, remove all the dirt and germs before you begin to cook. Now you want to wash your crayfish after selecting it and blend. A lot of people just select their crayfish and blend and they don't wash it. I don't know why. The reason why I wash my crayfish is because you don't know where the crayfish has been. It's always open. Crayfish is always open in the market, so it's always advisable that you wash your crayfish. So when you wash your crayfish, you put in your fresh pepper as well. Also add your ginger, add your garlic, and add a little water, then cover. Now, this is the consistency you'll be looking out for, not too smooth and not too rough. So you blend until it looks like this and then you bring it out. I forgot to add onions into my blend mix, so I added it here and I reblended. So I'm going to wash my beans and I'm going to wash it twice. The first rinse, I'm going to wash it well, and then I would allow the water to be above the beans, and then you will see the beans floating. Some of the beans floating, it floats with the shaft. Be sure to remove the shaft while you're washing the beans, okay? And another way to know good and bad beans is through this. The ones floating on top are the bad beans. Most of them are the bad beans, while the rest of them are shafts. So you basically don't need them. Just remove as much as you can and then you rinse. While you're rinsing, when you want to start removing the beans from the water, please be sure to not remove everything, especially the bottom of the beans, because most times there are stones that go to the bottom of the water to rest. So that's how you're going to eliminate and remove more stones that you did not see when you were selecting. So this is the second wash, and this is pretty much like just to be sure that the beans is clear. So it's pretty much rushed. You just remove the beans from the water and pour it into your pot. Then you fill the pot with water and put on the gas and boil for about 40 to 45 minutes. So while the beans is boiling, we'll want to prepare the rest of the ingredients. First, you have to wash your Ugwu. This is the pumpkin leaves. First, as you're washing it, you're going to do the exact same thing you did with the beans. I mean, minus removing shaft, of course, but you're going to wash it twice as well. Now, this is more important because Ugwu comes with a lot of sand most times, so you would want to be very, very careful when washing your Ugwu so you don't eat sand. Okay, so you're going to wash the first one. Just watch as I'm washing. Wash the first one well, and then you also want to leave the bottom part, because every time sand, stone, whatever it is, always settles at the bottom. So you keep the bottom part, and you wash again the second time after you must have thrown the first water and the first sand away. So the second wash is just to be sure that all the sand and dirt is gone completely. I didn't cut this one myself. I cut it in the market. Usually I like bringing them home fresh and then cut it by myself. I wash first and wash away all the sand before I start chopping. But I beg, baby girl was tired. I just want to cook and go and sleep. Thank you. Anyway, so this place here, like the beans and these things that I'm picking, it's very important that you remove them from the sink, so that you don't have like a clogged sink. The reason why I left mine is because I had like a sieve. You saw the sieve, right? And that was the reason why I kept them there. You know, I was comfortable keeping them there. If I did not have a sieve, I would not even leave it there, so that the beans and the other dirts don't just go into the sink and clog the sink. You bring out half a bulb of onions and cut it and set aside. Then you bring your fish, that smoked fish, and you want to debone it. But before you do that, remember the same thing we did with the crayfish to wash it. This is the same thing that you're going to do with the fish, because it is open and it was in the market, you know. So you want to wash, and make sure you wash with salt. You just wash the body. Please wash very softly, because the fish is soft. Don't wash hard so it doesn't scatter. So you just rub the salt all over and then rinse gently. All right, and then when you're done, you start to debone your fish. You open up the fish. You first cut off the head, open up the fish. I remove the bone. I don't know what they used to call that thing in the middle. I remove the spinal cord and then you remove the small bones. That small bone part is very important, because it can just misplace, like you can just leave it in your food, and then at the end of the day you can choke on it. So please be very, 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 very watchful when you're removing the tiny bones from the fish, and then you'd keep the fish aside. This fish head, I don't throw it away. I'll use it in another food. I'll show you what I used to use it and do. And then when you're done, you set that one aside as well. So now you want to open your seasoning. I'm using Maggi Niger pot. The reason why I use Maggi Niger pot is because I'm not an advocate for salt. I don't like salt as much. So for those of us that don't like salt as much, you would want to use this seasoning, because it has literally everything inside, and it's more local. It's more like a local spice-ish type of seasoning, so it does the work for you. Please, this is not advert for them. Who did not pay me a big. Anyways, then you go ahead and cut your plantain. Now, first of all, you cut the head of the plantain and the bottom of the plantain. Then you'd want to intersect dissect it and open it to remove the plantain. So I'll just show you how I did it. You cut the head, the tail, and you use a knife to like make an intersection and remove the plantain from it. And when you're done, you would want to divide the plantain and cut it into chunks. For this recipe, we want it to be in chunks, and this is the way I like it, like half moon. You see how it looks like half moon? That's the way we're going to be cutting all the plantains for this recipe. Once you're done, you set it aside. Now that everything is ready, you want to check your beans. This is about 30 minutes of it boiling. Then you put in the other half of the onion that you chopped you cut it just like so. If you don't like your onion showing in your food, please, you can always blend it, okay, or you can skip this part. But I like onions, I like a lot of onions, so I'm going to use onions. All right, so when you're done, you cover the pot back and allow it to boil for another 15 to 20 minutes. So we're going to make the sauce for the beans, and then I turned on the other gas and I'm going to switch pots. Like swap them so that I can comfortably do the sauce while the beans keeps boiling. And then you'd want to make sure that the pot is completely dry. After it dries up, you shake your palm oil. Please shake it well so that everything can mix, and then you pour it into the pan. So you want to put your chopped onions and your pepper mix, then your seasoning. At this point, you taste for salt, taste for Maggi and the rest. But I said I'm not using salt, so I'm going to be substituting with my Maggi Niger pot. And then you stir. When you stir, you leave it to fry. When the sauce is ready, you will know. The oil will start floating on top of the pan and the pepper would be at the bottom. You would know that it is completely fried, just like this. And you set it aside, and then you bring the bean pot over, check if it's ready. By now it should be 90% ready. Then you add in your plantain and allow the plantain to cook with the beans until it's 100%. So after 7 minutes, you open the pot and stir. Oh, look at this goodness. Look at this sumptuous of deliciousness of, by now, your whole kitchen should be smelling good. Trust me. Just stir. See, baby girl, stir. Sorry, I be baby boy. Oh, stir very well. Make sure everything is incorporated nicely. Now you want to taste for salt again and know if to add or not add. At this point, I didn't need to. Mine was perfect, so I went in with my Ugwu. Now this Ugwu was a lot, so I divided it into two and just used one side of it and kept the rest. And then I stir. You have to stir, okay? So when you're done stirring, you cover the pot for 1 minute. Please, 1 minute to 1 minute. So that your vegetable doesn't turn black. You just need 1 minute, and then your food is ready to serve. Now serve and enjoy the most creamy, juicy bean pottage ever. See, if you use this method, you cannot go wrong. Trust me. This recipe is juicy and creamy, and in fact, see, don't take my word for it. I want you to try it and let me know in the comment section what you think about my recipe. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.